Reilly here. Welcome to the No Spin News, Tuesday, July 29th, 2025. Stand up for your country. Hot here and around the country, especially in the South. About 98 where I live, 100 plus in New York City. Going to relocate tomorrow out to eastern Long Island by the ocean. It's 15 degrees cooler out there than here. And there you have the No Spin weather forecast. Sound like David Muir on ABC. We'll get to him in a minute. The Talking Points memo is on this tariff success that Donald Trump is having. Could be temporary. Okay, no euphoria. Stock market has not responded. It's kind of flat this week, maybe down a little bit. But the president took a gamble in April, and it has paid off so far. I think that's fair and accurate. All right, so this year alone, the United States government has generated $125 billion from tariffs. Now, that money goes into the U.S. Treasury. I'll explain in a moment. This is up 131% from the same time last year under President Biden, who did not care at all about the trade deficit. Never looked at it, never examined it. He was second worst president ever and ignored most of the problems. And the trade deficit is a problem. Okay. So we called the Treasury Department and they wouldn't even respond to us. Nice, right? Boy, oh boy, those bureaucrats in Washington. Anyway, we did our own investigation. And all of the money so far has gone into the general fund, which can be used for anything the Trump administration wants it to be used for. It's not going to pay down the debt at this moment. I hope it will. And I am going to go on a little campaign to embarrass certain people to get some of this money to pay down that $37 trillion debt, because it's mounting and mounting and mounting. Look, this is going to go into the trillions that the United States is going to get from foreign nations trying to sell products here. So why not pay down a debt with it? Okay. Most Americans love their country. It doesn't matter whether you're Democrat, Republican, or liberal, or libertarian, doesn't matter. Say, that's good. So far, it's working out. But not Senator Charles Schumer, the minority leader. No, he doesn't. He didn't like it. Roll the tape.
Trump would have you believe it's the biggest deal ever. That's his words. Dangling $250 billion of new energy purchases and more in new investments. There's just one hiccup. It's fake.
No, it's not. Schumer's lying. And I very rarely use that word. I usually say he's misleading or he's a propagandist, which he is. But he's just lying. He's just head down reading something that's been written for him by one of his propaganda people. And, you know, I used to have a decent relationship with him, and I run into him from time to time in New York. I have no respect for Charles Schumer. None. He doesn't love this country, in my opinion. He's not looking out for you or me or anybody else. He is a rank propagandist. And again, I don't use this kind of rhetoric. All right, I usually can see two sides to this story. You know that. This guy? Oof. When we are evaluating the economy, it all has to do with how you are doing, the American consumer, because the consumer drives the economy. Yes, we're going to get a lot of investment in here under the Trump plan, and that will provide more jobs for Americans, higher paying jobs too, okay? It'll take a little while because they got to build the plants and they've got to reorganize what it is. But the key is that the money going out of the United States is now declining sharply, which is a good thing. If you know anything about economics, anything at all. Okay. Now, will this last? Will this go into the annals of a successful economy? We'll know by December, because that's when all of the Trump stuff will coalesce. So you will see that it either works or it doesn't. That is a fair barometer, December. But I will tell you that in 24 last year under Biden, the second worst president of all time, okay, the U.S. trade deficit stood at 1.2 trillion. 1.2 trillion. You figured that would get his attention. I don't know how it's going to be in 25 because there's no estimate, but it's down 11% in 1 month, June, the trade deficit. So if you do the math, Trump is winning. And that's the memo. All right, so the left-wing media will never admit that Trump is winning on anything. You know that, I know that, which is why you're here watching and listening to me. Not that I'm rooting for President Trump, but I give him a fair shake, and I report accurately, unlike 90% of the others. All right. So last night on the world news roundups, the evening news on the three networks, here's how much time they gave the Trump tariff, which is a huge story for you. Okay, CBS Evening News did its job. 4 minutes it spent on the tariffs. And CBS Evening News is changing rapidly because they're all afraid they're going to get fired when the merger goes in October. NBC Nightly News, 35 seconds, ABC, 36 seconds. So they ignored it, NBC and ABC. What did they do instead? ABC did 3 minutes and 11 seconds on the weather, because that's what David Muir does every night. He's a weather man. I don't even know him. I have nothing against him. I thought he did a terrible job moderating the debate. But if you put on ABC World News tonight, it's a weather forecast, because surveys show that's what Americans respond to. They like the weather. So 311 on the weather for ABC last night, 36 seconds on the tariffs. NBC is ridiculous. It's just off the board. So they're on the Epstein jag. So Epstein last night got 2 minutes on NBC Nightly News, and the tariffs got 35 seconds. Now, I think we've exhausted the Epstein thing, have we not? I think so. I'm going to do a thing tomorrow on this. Ghislaine Maxwell now says she should be released. No, I'll do that tomorrow, but I'm not going to keep going over and over as NBC News does. It's ridiculous. So next up is China. Now, that's the most important thing. If Trump can pull off a trade deal with China that both countries are happy with, the world immediately becomes a safer and more prosperous place. That's why I went to Beijing in May, okay? And I know that right now, Donald Trump wants to go to Beijing. I think that will happen. It's going to happen probably the end of September, early October. And there are things in place where if you were a betting person, odds are the deal is going to happen. And if it happens, that squeezes Putin, okay? Big, 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 big. China is it. And then as a footnote, Canada and Mexico, they have to make a deal. They have to. Because if they don't, their respective economies will go into a depression, not a recession. So in Ottawa and Mexico City, hey, just get the best deal you can, because you don't have any choice. You have no bargaining power at all. The EU took every bit of bargaining power away from you, the EU deal on the tariffs. Okay, Trump is still in Scotland. He's opening another golf course over there, Trump International at Aberdeen. I've been to Aberdeen. Nice little town, terrible weather. Okay, but it's cool even in the summer, because that North Sea wind coming off there. Turn your head around, as James Taylor once wrote. And he's coming back then tonight. He'll be back tonight, Tuesday evening. Now, he was going to take 2 weeks vacation in August, but he's not. I understand. It hasn't been announced, but you know me, I have pretty good sources. So he's not going to take any vacation at all in August, which drives his staff nuts. Okay? But he's on an edge of making this China deal, so let's keep that in mind. Gaza, terrible, awful there are no adjectives, right? You're starving people there, children. It's awful. Hamas is to blame mostly. Won't give up the hostages. They're just terrorists. They're never going to stop. You got to kill them. All of them. Every one of them. And Israel knows that. But the problem is Israel is making it very difficult to get food into Gaza. And then when it gets into Gaza, Hamas steals it and other thugs. So it doesn't get to the poor kids. That's what happened in Haiti. All the billions of dollars that went to Haiti, none of it got to the people. Same thing in Gaza. And Israel can't control that, okay? But Israel is being too harsh in delaying shipments of food, things like that, because Netanyahu couldn't care less. He couldn't care less. But Trump now is involved. Roll the tape.
But we're going to be getting some good, strong food. We can save a lot of people. I mean, some of those kids that's real starvation stuff. I see it. And you can't fake that. So we're going to be even more involved.
Good. We are a humanitarian nation. Boy, what a problem over there. What if you could delay your next 2 mortgage payments? Imagine putting those 2 payments in your pocket and finally getting some breathing room. It is possible when you call American Financing. If you're feeling stretched by everyday expenses, you're not alone. American Financing can show you how to use your home's equity to pay off debt. Please call American Financing today before the problem gets worse. Their salary-based mortgage consultants are helping homeowners just like you restructure their loans, consolidate debt, all without upfront fees. Their customers save an average of $800 a month. It's fast, simple, and it could save your budget this summer. Please call now before it's too late. American Financing, 888-462-9557. 888-462-9557. AmericanFinancing.net/bill. Okay, hot YouTube thing. Leading off with my pal Connie Chung. Now, we have more than 1 million subscribers, as we told you, and we want you to sign up because it's free and it's, you'll learn a lot. YouTube.com/Bill O'Reilly. Totally different than what we do here on the No Spin News. So we hope you take the time, and I think you'll enjoy it. Bill@BillO'Reilly.com if you get any comments on it or suggestions. See, I can do anything I want. It's my YouTube channel. If you got suggestions about a commentary you'd like to hear from me, I'm looking for ideas. Bill@BillO'Reilly.com. Name and town, please. Let's go to the mail. We got Mark as a concierge member. Mark has a direct access to me. Mark gets in any trouble, my crew will help him. About the immigration law, what you're proposing, O'Reilly, seems like a reasonable way to address migrants that are in this country. Still, Congress must include language aimed at preventing the states from letting the undocumented vote. It's already there. It's in the Constitution. You don't have to pass a law if it's in the Constitution. What the law has to do is punish states who violate immigration law, both legislatively and constitutionally. Jim is another concierge member. Mr. O'Reilly, when did Republicans exploit undocumented migrants? Well, the failure to even put forth a bill when the Republican Party knows damn well we need a new immigration law. Can you explain that, Jim? Nobody even put forth anything. There you go. William, there should not be any reward for breaking into our country illegally. Kick them all out. If they want to come here to work or stay, they must do it legally. That's what the law would do, because if you don't register, you're gone. But you got to live in a real world here. They're not going to be able to throw between 12 and 20 million human beings out of the country. And if you think we are, you're living in a land of Oz, because it's not going to happen. That's why you need a new law to make it easier for the federal government to deport people who don't go and obey the law. We need a new law. Marty, Your immigration recommendations are common sense, something D.C. does not have in either party, because each tribe is trying to subvert the other camp into capitulation. Yes, you're right. I mean, they're using the immigration thing to try to get votes, and we all know that. But I'm glad you pointed it out, Marty. Yvonne, though I'm impressed that you come up with solutions to America's problems, other journalists review the issues, but they don't have any solutions. To me, that places you a step above the others. Thank you, Yvonne. Look, I didn't spend all that money to get a master's degree from Harvard in public administration just to go on and say, we'll see. Whenever you hear a pundit on television go, we'll see, that means they don't know anything. They don't know anything. They're trying to get out of whatever they're doing, go, oh, we'll see. What good is that? Put forth something. But as Yvonne rightly points out, few do. Sally Pershing, Omaha, Nebraska. If President Ford pardoned President Nixon, why does President Obama have immunity? It's not even in the same ballpark, Sally. Okay? Nixon was going to be charged with criminal activity. The Justice Department is not going to charge Barack Obama with a crime at this point. As I said, if a whistleblower would emerge and say, President Obama did this and ordered that the phony Russian collusion be put out, then he's in trouble. But if he just presided over a meeting discussing the situation, that's okay according to the Supreme Court. Now, tomorrow we're going to have John Solomon on this broadcast running down the whole crew involved in Russian collusion and what their potential for criminal activity is. Don't miss that tomorrow. Joel De La Cruz, Sachet, I'm saying this wrong, S-A-C-H-S-E, Texas. It's an Indian name. Mr. O'Reilly, whatever happened to Letitia James's corruption case? Being investigated takes forever. Takes forever. They never act quickly. I don't know why. It should have been adjudicated long ago. It's pretty obvious. Stuart Gans, Grapevine, Texas. What's your plan to hold the mainstream media accountable for misrepresenting the truth? My plan is to expose them every day, which I do, so that you and all other Americans can dump them, which is happening. Right? They're all in serious trouble. Tanya, Bill, I can't thank you enough for continuing to cover the evil of Stalin and Putin. My family suffered grievously from Stalin's repressions. Now, my friends in Ukraine have had their lives turned to shambles because of Putin. Stalin is Putin's hero, absolutely. And we write about that in Confronting Evil, how Putin loves Stalin. One of the worst mass murderers in history. Putin loves him. There you go. Matthew Tuttle, Carrollton, Texas. A lot of Texas no spin viewers and listeners. We appreciate it down there, y'all. It's pretty hot down there now. Hey, Mr. O'Reilly, I've watched you for 30 years. Wow, huge fan, supporter, because I know you're reporting fair. I read Killing Reagan. It held me spellbound. I hadn't finished the book since high school, and now I just finished Killing Kennedy. Thank you. You're welcome. And Matthew goes on to saying, sign up for concierge membership. You get a free copy of any book, any of the Killing or Confronting books. But I would go for Evil, which is out in about a month. You get a free copy, Matthew. Plus a bumper sticker we'll tell you about in a moment. The Not Woke bumper sticker. You order Confronting Evil, you get it free. And if you become a premium member or concierge member, you get the Not Woke bumper sticker free of charge. And then we got a lot of the Not Woke gear, which is fun. It's a fun thing. Word of the day, no chuffiness. C-H-U-F-F-I-N-E-S. I said that to the urchin, the lead urchin the other day. I said, knock off the chuffiness. You should see the look I got. All right, we'll be back with a final thought in a moment. The American dream is changing. Forget the white picket fence. Today it's about getting out of debt. If rising prices and credit card bills are weighing you down, there is hope. Done with debt. They don't offer loans or push bankruptcy. Their expert negotiators go straight to your creditors, cutting what you owe, wiping out interest, eliminating penalties. They fight until your debt is gone. Most clients see more money in their pocket the first month. You've worked too hard to let debt win. With Done With Debt, freedom is possible. Please visit donewithdebt.com. Talk with one of their experts, completely free. But some of their solutions are time sensitive, so don't wait. Please go to donewithdebt.com. Again, donewithdebt.com. If you are handling your own books or relying on a bookkeeper, it could lead to inaccuracies, missed deductions, and cash flow blind spots. FYSI's team of seasoned accounting professionals, corporate and tax attorneys manage every journal entry, bank reconciliation, and month-end close with precision, delivering clear, timely financial reports. They incorporated advanced tax avoidance strategies into your bookkeeping to capture deductions before you file. And they connect you with industry leaders and referral partners for growth opportunities. Set up your free consultation to learn how FYSI's experts can transform your books into a growth engine and accelerate your business to the next level. Act now to claim your free $5,000 business assessment, available for a limited time. Please go to FYSI.com/bill. Use promo BILL, or you can call 800-877-4000 today. Final thought, we're going into August. Oh, boy, and I have to make decisions about how much vacation time I'm going to give my staff and myself. And it's very intense this summer, as you know, with breaking news almost every day. Now Trump's not taking any vacation. I thought we were going to get a couple of weeks where he would play golf in New Jersey or something. It doesn't look like that's happening. So what I've decided to do is that we're going to be very nimble. And I'm not going to take any blocks of time until the end of August. We traditionally take a week before Labor Day and that kind of thing. We'll still do that. But throughout August, I got to give my peoples a break. I have to. And I will, but I'm going to spot it. So it's not going to be like the whole week, depending on the news cycle. I think that's fair. Our memberships in BillO'Reilly.com are amazing. We get like 90% renewals. And I know you guys depend on our information flow because all the other media is lying to you. And the right-wing media, too, they're not telling you the truth. They're spinning it their way, okay? But we will. And I know that becomes addictive. Every day you want to know what's going on. So that's what I've decided to do. We'll spot it. I'll give you a heads up, and all of that. But I'm not going to take, whole weeks until the end of August. We'll take a day here, a day there. I think that's a fair way to do it. All right, so thank you very much for watching and listening to the No Spin News. I'm Bill O'Reilly. We'll see you tomorrow. Thank you for watching. To view full episodes of the No Spin News anytime, sign up to become a BillO'Reilly.com premium or concierge member today.